Hi everyone, and welcome to the full moon. This moon is going to be a bit of a mover and a shaker and a foundational shaker for some people, especially if you have an attachment to money and if your self-worth is connected to that as well, and also your values connected to that. This moon is going to help you question, is this all really worth it? Is the happiness that I'm attaching to money or to material or to certain possessions or to belongings really worth it? Is the energy and the investment and everything that I'm trying to put into to maintain certain aspects in my life that is financially costing you in order to maintain your happiness that is connected to that? You see, this moon is going to show us exactly that. It's going to show us the cycle and the coping mechanism that we have created around what we have. Because firstly, what it starts with is an unmet need within us. Then we find something outside of ourselves that helps us to feel a certain way, to experience certain emotions that we normally cannot feel or have on our own without this certain object, for example, or piece of material. And when we have this object, or perhaps this person, or this piece of material or asset, we feel that unfulfilled emotion within ourselves. And then we associate that object with happiness. We associate it with love. We might associate it with support. But then always, in some cases, in most cases, whatever this object is that we have, there's a requirement for us to take action to maintain this or to keep it, or at least to create more of it, which in most cases is the case. Because when we feel happy, we want more of that, right? Of course, when we feel happy, we try to look for ways, how can we have more of that? How can I feel more of this bliss? How can I feel more of this emotional freedom or peace or whatever it is that you find from something outside of yourself that creates an emotional experience for you that you cannot have without that. Now, this can actually also even be a person. Yes, having some people in our lives can be expensive, right? So looking at this, we're going to be looking at this cycle. We're going to be exploring that a little bit more. So it begs the question that I have for you right now. When you look at something in your life that you absolutely love, but it has become burdening, whether it's the energy that you have to put into maintaining it or having it, or the financial investment behind that. When you find something there in your life that could be along these lines, remember you can always watch the replay if you don't find something right now. When you have that person or object, or even it could be circumstances, it can be a living arrangement, it can be a house, it can be anything, right? Anything that's outside of yourself. And when you look at this object, let's just refer to it as an object for the purpose of this today's meditation. What does this object emotionally give you or help you to experience in your life that you cannot feel or access without it? What would it be? Some people it might be happiness, some people it might be love, some people it might be support. Now it begs the question, who or what challenged this unmet emotional need that you have, that you now have to go outside of yourself to access? Who or what in your life challenged that made you feel that you cannot have that without needing to create something outside of yourself in order to trigger and access this positive emotional state? Right? And so even if you don't have the answer of that right now, you can also flip the question and you can ask, who or what am I without this? What is left of my identity without this? Where do I feel incomplete? Where do I feel unfulfilled in my life? And I mean, when I ask you that, I mean emotionally. Where do I feel unfulfilled? Because sometimes assets, objects, can give us a certain emotional state or status or importance. You know, sometimes we wear a very expensive handbag, and suddenly when you wear that handbag, you feel amazing about yourself because it gives you a certain level of status, a certain level of recognition. Maybe there's a certain level of recognition that you cannot feel or have in yourself, within yourself, without this handbag. Maybe we're driving an expensive sports car, and this is something that you wanted to have from a very early age. And now you have that. And this feeling of like, I have lack as a little child, is now finally fulfilled in your adult life through finally achieving and getting the car that you wanted. I know that I can actually use myself here as an example. You know, when I bought my BMW 318 Ti, I'll never forget it, when I was 19. And when I drove that car, I felt fantastic. I loved that car. Absolutely loved that car because it made me feel powerful. It made me feel successful. It made me feel so good about myself. And the reason why is because when I was 12, my dad said, when I actually told him that I want to buy a BMW one day when I grew up, and he laughed at me and he said, "You will be lucky if you get a job to wipe the vomit off floors in bars." And I thought to myself, right? Creating that lack, creating that feeling of I'm not good enough, and now that I have to prove that I can do this. And it wasn't even about myself. This was about me proving myself to my father. But little, of course, did I realize that he was just projecting the same story that was projected onto him as a child. He was projecting onto me. But I succeeded. I did it. I bought a brand new car, BMW, when I was 19. And I remember when at the dealership, I even had a custom design just to be even more arrogant. And I remember I pulled it off that floor. And that feeling of ecstasy and adrenaline and bliss was something that like no other. Like something that I've never experienced before. Because the lack that I carried my entire life and the emotional price that I paid and the hours and relentless hours that I invested in working for that car was finally worth it. But the gratification was so short-lived. And I remember when I moved to Australia from South Africa, I had to sell that car. And I remember driving away from the dealership where I sold the car to. And I was a mess. I was crying for a whole hour. I was the passenger, but I was crying all the way back home. I literally felt like a piece of me was left at that car dealership because of the attachment that I had to that and the meaning that I had to that. I felt like a piece of me was gone. And so with my process and my healing work that I did, I learned how to fulfill that again. But I also understood clearer and much better what was behind my attachment of that car and the price that I paid, not just financially, but emotionally and physically to achieve that. And that was an inner journey for me of having to reclaim that for myself in a way that's healthy and that's coming from within. Because if you can find whatever it is that this outside object allows you to feel that you cannot feel on your own, my God, all the power to you. Because you know what? No one, including your environment, can control your happiness or whatever it is that this object gave you. Your happiness will then finally find a place of stability. And that is a very powerful foundation to build your life on. That foundation is unshakable. Now guys, having said that, let's start our healing meditation. And when you are ready, I invite you to either you can sit up or you can lie down, whichever way is comfortable for you. And let's start. And now, when you are ready, I invite you to hear, feel, see, or sense a beautiful light flowing from your head, down your spine, your arms, your upper body, your hips, your legs, out your feet. Allowing this beautiful light to resolve and dissolve any and all stress that you might be feeling. And this beautiful light is coming from your higher self. An aspect of yourself from the quantum field that holds the power of healing, transformation, awareness, and empowerment, but in a way where there's no human emotions involved. There's no ego involved. There's a balanced I am within there. And just allowing that beautiful light to flow through every single cell in your body. Releasing other people's stress. Releasing perhaps stress that you felt during the day as well. Releasing tiredness. Releasing tiredness from your mind and your body. Allowing that light to continue to flow from your head down your body, just down, 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 into the earth. Releasing all that old stress. And also just acknowledging the difference between your identity and other people's stress. And I invite you now to allow yourself to become aware of your life as it is right now. And shifting your focus to the things outside of you that makes you happy. Maybe objects or assets. Become aware of how you feel when you have these objects or assets in your life. Perhaps all the positive feelings that you have when you sense it or connect to it or see it. And as you do, become aware of where inside of your body do you feel this happiness that's associated with this object or asset. I invite you now to pretend that this object or this asset is no longer in your life right now. How would that make you feel? How do you feel and really truly feel in the absence of that? Whatever the stress is that you feel, or the discomfort that you feel, allow yourself just to be aware of that. Let it be there. Because that discomfort is there to show you something. It's showing and pointing out emotional resources that you feel that you don't have access to in your life on your own, without this object or assets. It's showing you aspects where your happiness is not 100% truly within your control. And as you become aware of this, I invite you now to become centered within your sense of self. Really bringing your focus, your awareness to the present moment, to how you are feeling right now. And perhaps asking yourself the question, who or what challenged my ability to be and feel happy in my life? Whatever this object or asset is allowing you to feel in a positive way, who or what in the past challenged that emotion or emotions? And if you perhaps don't get a clear answer, just focus on your breath. And the more you focus on your breath, the clearer your mind becomes. Allowing the answer to just gently and spontaneously come forward without needing to control it. Just let it be. I invite you now to allow this person or situation that you perhaps felt challenged by in the past to come stand in a room, but at a distance and at a place and space that you feel comfortable having them. And as they are standing there, allowing a beautiful light to flow over you and to flow over the other person or situation. Allowing that light to resolve and dissolve this person or these circumstances from your past. Having a beautiful ripple effect throughout the quantum field into your present life and into your physical body, your mind and your heart. To find solutions, resolution, and completion. Releasing this person from a job, responsibility, contract, or obligation to challenge you into finding your worth. Allowing you now to realize that you can find your happiness and your worth in a way that is easy, graceful, and effortless. As you're focusing on that light, just observing how that person is becoming smaller and smaller, or their circumstances, weaker and weaker, fading and fading and fading. And the more it fades and the smaller it becomes, the less significant this person or circumstances are in your life. The impact that they had is no longer an impact anymore. It was just an old experience that is now becoming a faint and distant memory. We're going to do the breath work now, breathing in the mouth, out the nose, activate the alpha brainwave state. And on the last breath at the end, when you exhale, releasing that person completely from your energetic life. Knowing and understanding that you reserve the right to choose the kind of experiences that you want to have from now on. Reclaiming your power back. Reclaiming the control back that you now want to have and choose to have over your quality of life. Now we're going to breathe in the mouth, out the nose. Nice deep breaths. In the mouth, out the nose. In the mouth, out the nose, in the mouth, out the nose. Deep breaths in the mouth, out the nose. In the mouth, out the nose. In the mouth, out the nose. Picking up the pace. In the mouth, out the nose. In the mouth, out the nose. In the mouth, out the nose. In the mouth. And hold. Hold your breath as long as you can. I call my power back from people who challenged my happiness. I call my power back from people who challenged my self-worth. I call my power back from people who challenge my ability to feel complete and whole within my sense of self. I reclaim my birthright to be happy. I reclaim my birthright to feel whole and complete within my sense of self. I call my power back from people who challenged my identity. I reclaim my happiness. I reclaim my inner peace. I call my power back. I call my power back. I call my power back. And taking a nice deep breath. Just feeling how your body is just finding its new place and space within. Realigning. And also rebalancing. Enjoying that place of stillness and peace that is within. When you are ready, I invite you to hear, feel, see, or sense a beautiful light from your head down your body, your spine, your arms, your legs, out your feet. anchoring you back into the earth, allowing you to feel balanced, peaceful, feeling all your beautiful soul fragments gently coming back in the highest and best way for you. Feeling the surface beneath your body, following my voice back into the room. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes and welcome back. Thank you for joining me, and until next time, be the light that you are.
Hi guys, thank you for joining me, and remember to grab your copy of Metaphysical Anatomy on Amazon, 679 medical ailments. And I also wrote about the psychosomatic root causes of that, and I'm spoiling you because I even added key points for you to start looking at important questions that you can ask yourself to start improving your quality of life. And also remember to catch me on Instagram, Evette Rose, 1 with the digit 1, and Metaphysical Anatomy on our Facebook fan page. Bye guys!